After relief from sleep disorders, and is it finally forward motion for the Destiny USA project? The 11 non-stop minutes start now.
Now, 11 non-stop minutes of news.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Rod Wood. New details are emerging tonight about an agreement that could finally put Destiny USA in motion. City, county, and Destiny leaders say they've come to terms on several sticking points that have kept the project in limbo for months now. Our Michael Riecke is live outside Syracuse City Hall tonight with more on the story. Michael.
Well, Rod, Destiny USA executives say this agreement is a win-win for all the parties involved, while Mayor Matt Driscoll and County Executive Nick Pirro both say they're happy with the deal. Ultimately, it'll be up to the Common Council and county legislators to approve it. Once again, the future of Carousel Center and the Destiny USA project rests with city and county lawmakers. Tonight, they're reviewing the details of the agreement reached with Destiny developers, while the mayor and county executive are keeping the details quiet for now. News Channel 9 has learned some of the terms of the settlement. Among them, Destiny USA has agreed to a $60 million payment in lieu of taxes. Roughly $12 million would go to the county, $48 million to the city. We're told another sticking point resolved in the settlement includes the extension of a sales tax sharing agreement between the county and the city until 2022. A source also says Destiny developers have agreed to complete all 3 phases of the project, including a hotel and an addition of 300,000 square feet of retail space. Tonight, in a written statement, Syracuse Mayor Matt Driscoll said it was, quote, important that any negotiated settlement would benefit both the city and the county and allow the project to move forward. In the same news release, County Executive Nick Pirro echoed the mayor's statement, saying, quote, the project will be an important revenue stream for both the city and the county. State Supreme Court Judge John Centra already ruled in favor of Destiny, saying the city had no choice but to issue bonds and begin a property tax exemption on the mall expansion. While the city still has time to appeal that decision, it appears this agreement will eliminate that need. Again, we'll know much more tomorrow afternoon. Rod.
Michael, thank you. We will bring you the announcement from City Hall as it happens tomorrow evening here on News Channel 9, and we'll be streaming the entire news conference live on our website, 9WSYR.com. Unions representing nurses across New York State are pushing for legislation that would end mandatory overtime. They're getting the message out through a series of television ads, one of them sponsored by the Public Employees Federation.
I almost made a mistake today that could have cost someone their life.
Another double shift?
Tell state lawmakers to end mandatory overtime for nurses. The life you save may be your own.
The State Assembly's Committee on Health will hear testimony from nurses this Thursday as the bill moves through Albany. The goal is to cap the number of consecutive hours a nurse can work. Unions pushing for the law compare nursing to other professions such as truck drivers and airline pilots. The government already regulates how many hours they can spend on the job.
If you got on an airplane and your pilot came over the public announcement system and said, well, I'm on my 16th hour, would you want to get off the plane? I would.
Now, University and Community General are the only 2 hospitals in Syracuse that have mandatory overtime for nurses. University blames it on a nursing shortage. Neither hospital would provide a nursing administrator to comment on the matter. Falling asleep on the job can be dangerous, especially for healthcare workers, pilots, and truck drivers. Dozens of sleep studies show millions of Americans, both young and old, are not getting enough sleep. Tonight, Carrie Lazarus takes us to Crouse Hospital's sleep lab and puts herself through the test for sleep deprivation.
It looks like a bedroom until you look at the nightstand and see all the equipment and the camera.
Is it hard for people to sleep with a camera on, knowing that
it's a little hard.
Watched?
It's a little hard. It's certainly not as good as sleeping at home.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, most people fall asleep.
In the test Dr. Alkins is going to give me, I'm not supposed to fall asleep, but I will if I'm sleep deprived. These electrodes will send a computer information that tracks eye movements, facial muscles, and brain activity.
the ones that are going on my scalp, are they going to monitor what's happening in my brain?
Yep.
I'll sit in this very comfortable chair for 20 minutes.
Okay, Carrie, can I have you keep your eyes closed?
At first, I'm really aware that people are watching and my mind starts to race. But as the minutes pass, I start to feel sleepy.
These are slow, kind of slow rolling guys here. She's getting drowsy, but
I feel like I'm nodding off, but the computer shows it doesn't last, so it's not sleep.
And you're actually wanting to achieve sleep, but you don't because you
speed up
wake up right here again, but you have little bursts of really getting drowsy.
So I'm probably not sleep deprived, though the complete test involves 4 sessions in one day. It's a test far too many people fail.
You had every person in America do this test. What percentage would you say would flunk?
oh my goodness. I would say it's probably going to be over 50%. If you pick a number, I think we're all sleep deprived.
The people who end up at the Krause lab have real sleep disorders like apnea or restless legs. The sleep doctors at Krause tell us most people who have trouble sleeping are just going about it the wrong way. Here are 3 simple changes you should try before reaching for sleeping pills. If you're sensitive to caffeine and you go to bed at 11 o'clock, cut out all coffee and soda by 2 in the afternoon. Keep your bedroom cool. Taking a hot shower and getting into a 65-degree room can signal your body it's time to sleep. Another signal, darkness. In the hour before bedtime, stay away from the bright computer monitor, and if you're watching TV, turn off the lights. Carrie Lazarus, News Channel 9.
An outpouring of love, appreciation, and respect tonight for a fallen Marine and his family. This evening, hundreds lined up outside Abundant Life Community Church in the village of Camden to pay their last respects to 21-year-old Marine Sergeant Eli Parker, killed earlier this month on his 3rd tour of duty in Iraq. Eli died a Marine, but his friends knew him as the popular kid in school. Shelby Stafford spoke with some of Eli's friends who are remembering the good times they spent together.
The morning of my birthday, I come in and on my desk is this present wrapped in baby shower paper.
Huddled together in the back of Camden High School, these recent graduates are standing in the rain, reminiscing.
There's a picture of it on one of the walls. You see having me in a headlock and everyone on top of me.
But what could make a sad occasion so funny?
We're just here for each other, just to remember Eli and celebrate Eli.
Eli's close friend Chuck Hurd says the stories are comforting.
I just am going to miss him in general, just everything, his humor, his style, everything.
Yet many of his friends say it still hasn't sunk in that Eli isn't coming home to hang out.
He's been gone now for like 3.5 years here and back, so it's like we're used to going, several months without seeing him, then he comes home, so, for me, it feels like it's still, still gonna come back. You know what I mean? I've been at school, I haven't seen my friends from high school in a while, so it's definitely helps a lot.
The day after Eli died, friends came to this bike rack and put flowers and keepsakes in Eli's memory. Even though he died on foreign soil, something as simple as this bike rack is now memorial to him. This was Eli's favorite spot on campus, and walking across the bike rack was one of his favorite things to do.
Everybody in the school started catching on and wanted to do it. Eventually, the school didn't want anybody to get hurt, so they told us we couldn't, so we had to do it in secret.
Spider-Man was his favorite comic book character, so seeing the bike rack decorated with Spidey stickers creates a web of memories.
He was always reading the Spider-Man comics in study hall, and he would read Spider-Man over doing homework any day.
Spider-Man may be a superhero, but his friends say Eli was the real hero. In Camden, in Oneida County, Shelby Stafford, News Channel 9.
Eli's friends say they will pay tribute to him at the school's bike rack every May 4th. Sergeant Eli Parker's funeral will be held at 10 tomorrow morning at Abundant Life Community Church in Camden. Meantime, we have learned the names of the 3 10th Mountain Division soldiers killed last week in Iraq. 26-year-old Armoren Burkhart of Maryland, 22-year-old Private Eric Clark of Wisconsin, and 18-year-old Stephen Snowberger from Lopez, Pennsylvania were killed when their vehicle hit an improvised explosive device. Seniors who have yet to sign up for Medicare's new Part D prescription drug benefit now face paying a penalty. The deadline is midnight tonight, and dozens of last-minute enrollees were filing into the Liverpool Library late this afternoon looking for help. You can still register over the phone by calling 800-633-4227. The phone line, though, is extremely busy, and we're told you'll be asked to leave your name and phone number, and someone will call you back later this week. You can also link to Medicare's website from ours, 9WSYR.com. Now, many seniors who can't sign up by midnight won't be able to sign up until November 15th. Then they'll be forced to pay an indefinite penalty of $2 or more a month. New tonight, President Bush says up to 6,000 National Guard members will be deployed to the border with Mexico to curb illegal immigration.
We must face the reality that millions of illegal immigrants are here already. They should not be given an automatic path to citizenship. This is amnesty, and I oppose it.
The president renewed his push for a temporary worker program that would create a legal option for foreign workers and their employers. If you're planning to buy an inflatable pool this summer, you'll want to check with your local code enforcement officials first. The town of Onondaga is now requiring residents to renew their pool permits every year so they keep up with safety precautions.
One of the things that we're recognizing is that the manufacturers or the retail stores are not advising people of the regulations that are applicable in New York State regarding fencings and accessibility into these pools.
New York State requires any pool that can hold 2 feet or more of water to be fenced in. A man shot several times on Syracuse's west side is in serious condition at University Hospital tonight. Around noon today, 31-year-old Eric Moore was actually shot 5 times in the middle of Putnam Street off South Geddes. Police say Moore was ambushed by 3 men and was shot while trying to get away. If you have any information about today's shooting on Putnam Street, give City Police a call at 442-5222. Police in East Syracuse say the man who dropped off a grenade at their police station Friday was not doing the right thing. 22-year-old Justin LeBrake says he wanted to get rid of it safely. He'd brought the weapon here from Afghanistan as a souvenir from his tour of duty there. Police say driving it to the police station put a lot of lives in danger.
God forbid had he gotten in a motor vehicle accident on his way here, and the incendiary grenade, which its sole purpose is to incinerate tanks, armored vehicles, and people inside them, had gone off.
And police say LeBrake also could have called 911 to have a bomb squad come to his house. He's charged with criminal possession of a weapon.
Question 4 for Julia.
They come from all over New York State to show what they know about alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs. New at 11, 4 teams of middle schoolers faced off in the Eichorn Drug Quiz Show State Finals, hosted by our own Dan Cummings. The team from Clinton Middle School came away as the winners.
All right, well, it sure has been a wet day across much of central New York, although the showers are moving out of here for the moment. Here's what you'll find tomorrow morning. Generally just a cloudy start to the day, with temperatures a little bit on the cool side, generally upper 40s. We think the rain could very well make a comeback tomorrow afternoon. We'll show you where when we look at your radar forecast hour by hour through the day tomorrow. That coming up.
Coming up in sports, it's on to the College World Series for the Lemoyne softball team. The Lady Dolphins pulling off a big upset in the regional final. And it's on to the NFL for former Orange tight end Joe Kovaleski. Joe Co proved himself at minicamp, and today the New York Jets sign him to a 3-year rookie free agent contract. Those stories and more on the way in a little bit.
Also ahead tonight, a new tool for traffic stops, a flashlight that sheds light on a driver's face and maybe on his or her sobriety.
From the station that is breaking news, you're watching News Channel 9, 11 at 11.
Chevy Impala is a strong competitor with features like a standard 211 horsepower V6. But did you know it gets better highway fuel economy than Honda Accord LX and that it has more interior room? Now Impala LS even costs over $4,600 less. Impala LS for over $4,600 less than Honda Accord. Log on to clickonchevy.com.
In a place so beautiful that those who live here want to stay forever, we've spent over a century giving them one more reason to do just that. For generations, we've provided quality health care for the people of upstate New York. We're Kinney Drugs. You're under our care.
What will our community look like down the road?
Will our local economy be strong?
Will property values hold up?
Will we have the same opportunities our parents had?
Much of it depends on the quality of public education here.
Already, schools are cutting back on arts, sports, and tutoring. And if our school budget doesn't pass, we'll lose even more.
On May 16th, vote yes on our school budget, because a successful future starts right here.
The Hyundai Challenge is on. The new Hyundai Elantra beats Corolla when it comes to interior space. You also get standard dual front and front side impact airbags.
Do the research. Do the test drive. Do the math.
The fuel-efficient Hyundai Elantra costs $2,800 less than a Honda Civic, and Hyundai's award-winning quality lets us offer America's best warranty.
You owe it to yourself. Take the Hyundai Challenge.
For a short time, get a new Hyundai Elantra with up to $1,500 cash back. But hurry, offer ends May 31st.
Sponsored by Hyundai.
The forecast where you live from the News Channel 9 Storm Team.
Hey, before I get started tonight, I had the honor and the privilege of emceeing the Technology Alliance of Central New York's annual awards banquet tonight. And for those of you that have any interest in technology or might even be looking for a job in technology, there's a lot out there for you in Central New York. Here's their website, TACNY, Technology Alliance, Central New York, CNY.org. I'll see if I can get this posted on our links and reminders on 9WSYR.com. Thank you to everybody for having me there this evening. All right, let's take a look at our animated view of Live Doppler 9 here as we see what is going on, because that kind of clues us into what is coming up. First of all, the lion's share of the rain that was over us, and boy, was it a solid area of rain earlier this evening, pretty much off to our north and west. There's spotty sprinkles still around Central New York, but I think by and large, it's going to be pretty quiet tonight, and I think that's what we'll be waking up to tomorrow morning. All right, our numbers for the day. In spite of the rain, we did at 66 degrees after a morning low of 44, only 0.09 of an inch of rain, though officially at the airport. We're at 51. The dew point 46 barometer is rising, and the wind out of the east at about 7 miles per hour. All right, we start off with this satellite view, and the reason why I'm titling this Like an Old Friend is because the storm system that is over the Great Lakes and much of the northeastern part of the country is the same weather feature that's essentially been in place there for the last, 5 or 6 days now, just taking on various shapes and forms. And boy, when we animate this today, look at the massiveness of the circulation around this weather system. It's basically just sitting put. It's cut off from jet stream winds that normally move our storm systems and air masses around, and it's just sending waves of clouds and showers and even thunder showers northward over us. And that's one reason why we've been getting these areas of cloud cover, rain, and then as you can see to our south, breaks in the weather. Some of that will probably be over us during the day tomorrow, and then the rain returns again. This put together or composite of National Weather Service radar sure tells that story, doesn't it? You can see that whole thing that was over us today bodily moving north, and once again, here comes some new moisture lifting northward from the Gulf of Mexico over the eastern part of the Carolinas and Virginias. So let's look at our computer model and your radar forecast where you live. In other words, we're looking at the weather as how it might look in the eyes of Live Doppler 9 during the day tomorrow. And as I'd mentioned, when we wake up and head out tomorrow morning, there shouldn't be anything more than 1 or 2 light showers around here. But during the course of the day, particularly headed toward the noon hour, we're still looking for a sort of a northward build of that stuff over Virginia up across the eastern half of the state, literally just east of Interstate 81. And then going through the rest of the afternoon tomorrow, I think we'll see showers popping up just about anywhere across central New York State, hit and miss kind of stuff, and there could even be a little bit of thunder as we take you up to the dinner time hour. And then, as is often the case, when we go past dinner time and the atmosphere begins to cool down, a lot of this rain shower activity will erode away. So once again, it's going to be another hit and miss kind of day tomorrow. All right, maybe a leftover shower tonight. Otherwise, just a cloudy, quiet start to the day tomorrow. But as we saw in your radar forecast, hour by hour during the day tomorrow, scattered showers and thunderstorms should develop. First, mainly east of Interstate 81, and then kind of in a widespread scattered fashion across central New York tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, maybe a leftover shower, but things generally quieting down. And the same story goes for Wednesday and Thursday. The only thing about Thursday is we think some of those thunderstorms could get kind of strong again with temperatures in the upper 60s. All right, now going through the week, well, what comes through Thursday will bring in some much cooler weather. Looks like upper 50s here going through next weekend.
It's the new tool police in Fulton are using to find drunk drivers and get them off our roads. The alcohol detector looks much like a regular flashlight, but police say it'll help them find drunk drivers.
Some cases, vodka isn't very present in their breath. You can't smell it as well as you can, say, beer. So in a case like that, where maybe somebody's an alcoholic and they can function normally when they're intoxicated, this may help you determine that.
Although the device can help police find clues, its results cannot be used as evidence in court. A Syracuse man is recovering tonight after the dump truck he was driving rolled over this afternoon. The accident happened at this intersection when 42-year-old Thomas Greenwood lost control of the truck because he was driving too fast. Dirt inside the truck spilled all over the road. We're told, though, that Greenwood's injuries are minor. Well, with summer travel season kicking off soon, police across the state plan extra patrols in an effort to make sure people get to their destination safe. Beginning next Monday, state troopers, sheriff's deputies, and local police will set up seatbelt checkpoints and patrols. It's part of the state's ongoing Click It or Ticket campaign. Seatbelt usage statewide is just around 85%. That usage number appears to be much lower in rural areas, though. A new report by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration reveals young men who live in rural areas and drive pickup trucks are the least likely to wear their seatbelts. The report says men account for 65% of the more than 31,000 people killed each year in passenger vehicles. Coming up in sports tonight, Central New York celebrates one national championship and one regional title tonight. Steve Infanti with the story, but next up, how New Englanders are handling the rising floodwaters here in the Northeast.
You can't beat the competition by following, so we've taken Buick LaCrosse in a different direction. With a standard V6, a year of OnStar service, and a 4-year, 50,000-mile warranty. No other car in its class offers all this. Get a low-mileage lease on an 06 LaCrosse CX for around $219 a month. Call for details. And through May 27th, visit your Central New York Buick dealer for a chance to win a select GM vehicle during the Buick License to Win event. Buick, beyond precision.
Chauffeur me to the ball game. Seat me in the front row. Move over. Buy me some peanuts and caviar. When I
play the Subway Series instant game from the New York Lottery with 12 chances to win up to $1 million.
Honey?
Yeah?
Do you know what this light switch does?
Which one?
The one on the right.
I never used that one.
All right, will you look?
Yep.
On? Off. On?
No.
Are you looking?
Yes.
Huh. Off. On. Off. On. Off. On. Off. On. Off.
Life comes at you fast. When it does, nobody covers your car like Nationwide. Investments, retirement, insurance.
Nationwide is on your side.
How many businesses do you know can lose 400,000 customers a year and stay in business? You know,
hey, listen, you don't have to get the you don't have to get the kids. You get the young adults. We get the young adults and the kids come for free.
It's our job to get a hold of the next generation of smokers, plain and simple. We know where they are. They're on the web. They're on the internet. They're at the malls. They're watching sporting events. We're there. Legally. Proudly.
You think about power. You think about space. Towing capacity. Versatility, comfort, and rugged reliability. Well, so does Honda. See what happens when great minds think about trucks.
Lease a Honda Pilot for $279 a month for well-qualified customers.
This portion of News Channel 9 is sponsored by Solvay Glass.
From WSYR TV, this is News Channel 9.
Heavy weekend rains are causing widespread flooding across New England. Sewer backups, soggy basements, and flooded streets have forced hundreds from their homes. National Guard troops are in Massachusetts and New Hampshire helping people out. The states are closely monitoring dams and rivers around the region that are at or above flood level. In tonight's health alert, the makers of a contact lens solution tied to an outbreak of fungal eye infections will never sell the product again. Bausch & Lomb says that former Renew with Moisture Lock users should switch to one of its other lens solution brands, which are based on different formulas. Now, so far, the eye infections have affected about 122 people. Most of them reported using the lens cleaner, but the origin of the problem remains a mystery. Coming up next in sports tonight, a first-place showdown in girls lacrosse as Cortland visits Jamesville DeWitt. Infanti with the highlights next. Right now, a look at tonight's winning lottery numbers. The daily number 151, the win 4 combination 6085. And the take 5 numbers are 12, 23, 31, 35, and 37.
Hi, honey.
Thought you went shopping.
Well,
In-floor storage bins, one of the many benefits of Chrysler Town & Country's exclusive stow-and-go seating and storage system. This May, get 0% financing for 60 months or a $4,000 cash allowance on Chrysler Town & Country.
During tonight's taping of Jimmy Kimmel Live with a cast of Grey's Anatomy, tragedy strikes.
Oh, did he get you?
You'll have to see it to believe.
What hospital are we going to?
Can the cast of Grey's Anatomy save Jimmy? Find out on an all-new Jimmy Kimmel Live, late night, only on ABC.
The Jeep Commander with a 5-star frontal crash test rating, an available 5.7-liter Hemi V8, optional Sirius satellite radio, plus standard side curtain airbags for all 3 rows. It won't be difficult to find passengers.
Not again.
This May, get 0% financing for 60 months or a $2,500 cash allowance on Jeep Commander.
Oi, check this, right? 3 million drivers switched to Geico last year, yeah? I'm telling you this, why? Well, because I want you to help spread the word. Bloke hears that number, he's quite impressed. He's like, 3 million? That's a lot of people. Why wasn't I invited? Then you're like, of course you're invited. So he stops by geico.com and he gets his free rate quote. OK, sure, all right, it's not a real party, it's a website, but at least now the fella's done his homework.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
At what point does a car do more than take you from point A to point B? When does it come to life? When does it become your co-conspirator? When does a car become more than just a car? Introducing the all-new 268 horsepower Toyota Camry. It's time to move forward.
Danica Patrick is leading the Indy 500, but here comes Dan Walden going inside.
This year, what's right on the heels of the Indy 500? It's the Watkins Glen Indy Grand Prix featuring Danica Patrick and all the stars from the Brickyard right to your backyard, June 2nd through the 4th. For tickets, call 866-461-RACE or go to racetickets.com. Watkins Glen International, the soul of American road racing.
This portion of News Channel 9 is sponsored by Watkins Glen.
In sports tonight, Joe Cole lands with the Jets. Well, the morning after the NFL draft a couple weeks ago, Joe Kovaleski said he couldn't eat, he couldn't sleep. He was just so devastated that nobody wanted him. Then the phone rang. The Jets said they wanted him. They offered him a chance to prove himself, and let's just say Joe took full advantage. Today, the Salve alum and former Orange tight end signed his first professional football contract. It's a 3-year rookie free agent deal with the New York Jets. They decided to keep him after seeing him work out at their rookie minicamp last weekend. I spoke with Joe on the phone tonight. As you might expect, he says he's extremely excited at the opportunity. He's currently working out as a tight end, but said he'd be willing to do anything, play anywhere to help the team. Kovaleski will stay in New York this summer. Jets training camp opens in July at Hofstra University. Well, the Eastern Conference Finals open up this weekend in Carolina for the Buffalo Sabres, but they'll likely do so without Tim Connelly. According to head coach Lindy Ruff, the Beeville native is not expected to be ready to go in time for the series opener after suffering a possible concussion a week ago against the Senators. The Sabres were given today off. They'll resume practice tomorrow. Well, the OCC men's lacrosse team enjoyed a well-deserved day off after claiming the program's first ever national championship over the weekend. But for the returning players, a day off is about all they get. And that was the theme at this afternoon's gathering on campus. The players and coaches still basking in the glow of their perfect season, but they were all quick to point out that hopefully this is the first of many championships. The Lasers appear to have all the makings of a dynasty. Whether or not that actually happens is up to them.
I mean, we opened up so many doors by winning this national championship. Hopefully, we can start our own legacy of being dominant in the junior college level. And I think that's going to be Coach's goal from here on out, is to be that, #1 seed, #1 team in the nation.
I mean, we do take pride in that. I mean, it's a good thing to get this program going. I mean, it's been good for the last 5 years, and I mean, just to win this is going to do so much more for the program.
The Lasers finished the season 18-0. They beat every team in the top 10 at least once. The Lemoyne softball team will get the chance to go after a national championship this coming weekend. Today, the Dolphins upset top-seeded CW Post 5-4 to win the Northeast Regional and earn a spot in the 8-team College Softball World Series. Lemoyne will meet Florida Southern Thursday at noon down in Salem, Virginia. High school lacrosse from tonight. First place on the line in the Freedom League. Second half, Molly Sanjul giving it up to Bailey Reagan. Gets it back and scores. Cortland up 8-3 at that point. Moments later, Sanjul, the beneficiary of another nice assist. Purple Tigers prevail at JD. They go a game up in the division standings, now 7-1 in conference play. Well, a third Duke lacrosse player has been indicted by a grand jury. Senior co-captain David Evans turned himself into police today after publicly declaring his innocence. Evans calls the charges against him, quote, fantastic lies. Major League Baseball from tonight, Alex Rodriguez getting his Silver Slugger Award. The Yanks hosting the Rangers. Gary Matthews Jr. then in the first, making his case for a Golden Glove Award, robbing Derek Jeter of an extra base hit. We remain scoreless. New York would jump out to a 2-0 lead. Robinson Cano singles back up the middle. That plates A-Rod. But the Rangers rally with 4 unanswered. Mark Teixeira rips one to right. Matthews trots home, giving Texas the lead for good. Yanks fall out of first place, losing 4-2. Red Sox were 11-1 winners in Baltimore. Down in the minors, Sky Chiefs rained out at home tonight against Rochester. They now leave for a 6-game road trip, Rod, beginning tomorrow in Ottawa.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. And Dave's back now with a final look at the wake-up forecast.
All right, yeah, real quick. If you didn't catch this, I think a quiet start to the day tomorrow, but as the day wears on, rain, just like today, should start to become a bit more widespread. So just be prepared for a wet one again tomorrow afternoon.
More wet weather ahead. All right, thank you, Dave. That is our report for tonight. Nightline is next. If you're up early, don't forget our morning news from 5 to 7 a.m. Updates anytime at 9, WSYR.com. Good night, everybody.
You're watching News Channel 9 WSYR, Clear Channel Television for Central New York.